A very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for finding time to be with us again on this week's edition of the program. Now, don't forget to remain your source for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Lucy Ube. Welcome. On our lineup this week, International Men's Day is celebrated across the world on November the 19th. But the celebration continues all year round as it marks a call to action to recognize and appreciate the roles and contributions of men as fathers, brothers, husbands, and colleagues. The theme of the 2021 IMD is better relations between men and women. We are all responsible for our individual actions and thoughts all day, every day. International Men's Day is not intended to compete with International Women's Day, but to highlight the importance of men's physical, mental health, and positive masculinity as we collectively choose to create an inclusive world. This week, we continue our special report on change makers in insurance business as we celebrate individuals and organizations that are taking calculated and positive steps to create inclusiveness in the insurance industry. These positive change makers share their thoughts on what it takes to build better relations between men and women for a better workplace and society in general. Take a listen.
I think we've been fortunate that within our system, we've not had any such case, whether it's on the male side or the female side. And I think it goes down to the values of the organization, core values of the organization. And implicit in that is also respect for people, respect for men, respect for women, and all that. So it's not something you will find in our system. But I think speaking in general, if you look at general workplace, yes, you would find that issues of sexual harassment is not just men against women. You also do have women against men. Now, sometimes what then happens is that men really don't come out to speak because if you, how would you say women is harassing? If you even say that in front of some of your guys, they probably will laugh at you and say, I just push you or something, So you find out that because of the way the society is, men usually will not come forward. It's just like men go through domestic violence in general society. Very few will report it because they feel, how would they say my wife is beating me at home? So these are the realities. But thankfully, like my colleague said, rightly so, here at SCIP we do not have such.
Men don't listen. They only hear. I know that in terms of communication, the male folk or the men are really people who are just in a hurry to get things done, just keep on moving, Whilst the women are, reserved, try to marshal out their points and bring up the things to the table. So for me, really, to be able to create that ideal, because we have talked about history, we are now in the present, so we are moving into the future. So to talk about that idea really is one key word that came out is effective and efficient communication.
We have policies that are not built usually around either male or female. These policies are built to help staff generally to grow in their career. And for us, there is no issue of discrimination whatsoever when it comes to career growth.
Leaders must be visible and accountable, irrespective of the gender. In my unit, for instance, head of business development, where I head, we have ladies that are head of units, ladies that are branch managers. So we do not really discriminate when it comes to, the workplace. And at SUNU, we have what we call sense of belonging, irrespective of gender. You appreciate your job because your superiors are also appreciative of your effort.
Irritating everyone to appreciate certain acts that would amount to sexual harassment, even where we are not consciously awakened to this. Example is where we have female bosses put certain pressure on their male subordinates to perform certain sexual acts for them or gratification. That would require the bravery and the ability to speak up against acts like this, even though they are not prevalent in our society.
What more can I say than to urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the lineup. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us.
International Men's Day is celebrated across the world on November 19th. It is a global day set aside to recognize and appreciate the role of men as fathers, brothers, husbands, and colleagues. The day holds significant values as it promotes the positive role of men in framing the society. The campaign theme this year is better relations between men and women. The day also draws attention to the discrimination faced by men as well as issues of physical and mental health. Men are rarely celebrated in the insurance industry despite the critical roles they play and are still playing in the growth and development of the insurance business in Nigeria. Some insurance and brokerage companies, however, are taking deliberate steps to create equal opportunities and a level playing field for all gender. Sunu Assurances Nigeria PLC and Skib Nigeria & Co. Limited are among the leading companies taking calculated steps to bridge the gender gap. On this special report, we speak to Mr. Gboyega Olabiwoninu, GM Business Development, Skib Nigeria & Co. Limited, and Mr. Peter Ofyong, Senior Manager, Client Services, Skib Nigeria & Co. Limited. We will also speak with Mr. Robert Ewuzie, Head Business Development, Mr. Lanre Olaniyan, Head Enterprise Risk Management, and Mr. Tolulope Abe, Legal Officer, all of Sunu Assurances Nigeria PLC.
The driving word is the word historically. So if we take it from that position, you may be correct to some extent. Why? Because insurance itself started from London, from the Lloyd's market, and what you found out there at that time is that it was the male folk that started it. But that, for me, is history from what we want to look at. And like our chairman who said, he said life is about the trinity of time, the past, the present, and the future. So history talked about the past. So the question is, where are we now in the present, and what kind of thing we are looking at into the future? Then definitely that paradigm has changed, because what you find out now in the Nigerian insurance market is that you have a couple of, maybe not quite, out of maybe 50 CEOs in the insurance industry. I'm talking about underwriters now. You probably will find maybe about 5 to 6 who are women. And but when you now even go to the brokerage arm of the business, or they are a couple. They are far more than what you get in terms of the proportion, in terms of ratio. So it was geared towards that in history, but the present and of course the future, things have really changed. There's a paradigm shift already.
I think, just like my colleague has said, historically, you probably would find that in almost every industry, maybe apart from nursing, that the role of men were more pronounced than women. But if you look closely, the Nigerian insurance industry, a lot has changed, even in recent times. I mean, You look at bodies like the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria. We've had lady presidents, at least 3 of them in recent past. You look at the NCRIB, we've had lady presidents. If I one just finished her tenure last month, and there's one also as a vice, president in line for the future. You have the DG of NIA being a woman. So we're having a lot of women in these positions of leadership. So I would say that the industry is not biased towards women. There is opportunity for women who are growing in the industry to also get to those high levels of positions. From the little I know, because I've been involved in doing a couple of surveys for salary surveys and all of that, the little I know, the industry, the wage gap exists on the basis of cadre, not on the basis of gender. So you won't have in the same organization a man earning more salary than a woman. No, you won't find that. Of course, these are areas that maybe we could commission more research in the future to look at it exhaustively. But from what I have seen, there's really no such wage discrimination in the industry.
Wage is a function of job description. So you have a job description that is given to particular personnel or staff in a particular cadre. So it's not, whatever wage is paid to the man is what is paid to the woman. So that can't really be, that can be.
I joined the industry a few years ago, and I joined with very clear goals, very clear objectives. And I think in the process, I also had the opportunity of being mentored by great minds in the industry, like Mr. Shola Tinubu, Mr. Oguniro. And one of the things that they instilled in me, I remember one of the things that Mr. Shola Tinubu said then, he said, when you put your legs on the pedal, you must not take it off. And I think that has been the experience for me. That you just have to stay focused. You need to have a plan, you need to have a goal, you need to work towards it. Nothing is ever going to be easy. So definitely you have to make sacrifices in terms of time, in terms of cost, in terms of investment in personal development. I remember, many years ago, shortly after I joined the industry, and I decided, okay, I was going to do a master's in a private school. Some people were asking me, why? And I said, because I felt there was a need for me to invest in myself. And those are things I continue to do even till today.
Proud to join the industry. I've worked with fast-moving consumer goods, then spent some time also working in federal government. Climbing the ladder, is one of the things you need to really have to do, which he had also mentioned, is the fact that you need to have somebody you look up to in terms of mentorship. There's this popular word that I've heard being said, that if you want to fly high in life, then you need to stand at the shoulders of those who have gone ahead of you. So you learn from them. So that's learning and development is critical. Then you must be able to have a set goal. You must have a set goal for yourself. Someone will say, oh, but I have a set goal that when I join the industry, in the next 10 years, I'll become managing director. If you don't get there, reset the goal. Life is just about timing, Once the time gets to 12 midnight, you start all over again. So you reset the goal for yourself and keep a focus-driven life to believe in yourself, believe that, once you have the capacity to achieve the things that you have set to go, then there's this popular word that says again that the biggest room in the world is a room of improvement. So you keep improving, you keep learning, you keep improving. And the good news about our own industry, which is something I've shared with a lot of upcoming young ones, is the fact that it's never going to be saturated.
Premiumbeat.com
years ago, when I joined the insurance industry, the industry was actually dominated by men. Maybe because the women did not really serve long enough to be at top position. But the industry actually offers both men and women equal opportunity. Today, things have changed. A lot of women are in top positions. Some women are CEOs of insurance companies, some own brokerage firms and other arms of the industry. And in Suno Assurance, we have women in top positions, and they are really doing excellently well. Our head of HR is a woman. The head of legal and our company secretary is a woman. We also have other young ladies that are growing up, that are coming up, that are ready to take up challenges. The industry offers both men and women equal opportunity. So there is no remuneration disparity in the insurance industry. In Suno Assurance, we have a structure whereby people that are on the same cadre earn the same salary irrespective of your gender. So there's no disparity per se in the insurance industry. I would say for Suno Assurance, climbing the corporate ladder is not measured by gender. It is purely based on merit and how well you are able to perform the assigned responsibilities. And ultimately, it is based on your level of competence and some aspect of professional qualifications, so to say. I've been in this industry for a while, and I've also faced challenges growing up in the industry. And you get to a point where you seem that it is difficult, to come up, especially where you see yourself as being in your comfort zone. You don't want to take challenges. You don't want to do anything extra, to improve in your job. More so that you even work to the best of your ability, but you are not giving credit to your efforts. You will feel that you are not recognized. But to overcome this type of problem, and for one who has the vision of growing in the industry, I had to take some steps to improve myself.
At Suno Assurance, we are very passionate about career growth for both genders, and we see career growth as the way to go in anybody's life. Okay, so we have policies that are not built usually around either male or female. These policies are built to help staff generally to grow in their career. And for us, there is no issue of discrimination whatsoever when it comes to career growth. Absolutely, the number speaks for itself. However, there have been a lot of unreported cases of male victims also. And I personally believe nobody, either male or female, should be a victim of sexual harassment. My colleague would want to add one or two things to this.
Sexual harassment, not only prevalent with women, it's also an act that relates more with men too. Although it's basically, or it could be widely unreported. Okay, that could be because there's the sense that women or men generally are not capable of being raped. So even when these things happen, or when these acts occur, they always go unreported, or you find out that the victims, especially men, they don't speak up. But here in Solo Assurance, we have the opportunity to have to operate in an open door policy that allows people, especially the staff members and everyone, to be able to come forward with any incident or anything that tilts towards tilts towards sexual harassment, and that has allowed people to speak up more and be more confident without the fear of being maligned or being objectified or
premiumbeat.com.
Men are generally perceived to be superhumans. I would say we men, we are not expected to show emotions, to cry. And that, for me, is largely a function of our culture and probably tradition. Okay, so I also believe that culture is dynamic and it's rapidly changing. So at Suna Assurances, we, we do have provisions for to guide against mental instability. And that informs why we have open door policies where staff, both male and female, can assess any management team or the HR to discuss whatever it is, just to ensure that we have mental health inclusion.
premiumbeat.com.
At Suna Assurance, leaders must be visible and accountable, irrespective of the gender. In my unit, for instance, head of business development, where I head, we have ladies that are head of units, ladies that are branch managers. So we do not really discriminate when it comes to, the workplace. And at Sunu, we have what we call sense of belonging, irrespective of gender. You appreciate your job because your superiors are also appreciative of your effort. So that is it. We do not discriminate and we are not gender sensitive.
At Suno Assurances, we train and retrain staff, irrespective of gender, on this topic. So we create consistent awareness of why there should be gender equality and why no gender should be looked down. So this is a continuous practice, and I believe it's a sustainable one.
from a legal standpoint, I believe there's still much to be done to ensure that there's robust legal framework to protect against sexual harassment and ensure that everyone is equal, both male and female. And luckily for we have now, there are a lot of international treaties and conventions that that are advocating for good work and healthy workspace. Example, the ILO Convention 2021 that was just ratified this year, and I would encourage and I would wish that Nigeria as a state to ratify these laws and make it part of our indigenous laws here in the country. That would ensure that everyone is protected by the law, both male and female. Female workers, male workers, they are not subjected to any form of sexual abuse or harassment at their workplace. irritating everyone to appreciate certain acts that would amount to sexual harassment, even when we are not consciously awakened to this. Example is where we have female bosses put certain pressure on their male subordinates to perform certain sexual acts for them or gratification. That would require the bravery and the ability to speak up against acts like this, even though they are not prevalent in our society.
That's our time on the program this week. It's always amazing to see men speak passionately about breaking boundaries and stereotypes for better work environment for both gender. Join us again next week for the continuation of our special report as we celebrate change makers in insurance business. Let's continue the conversation online. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. Let us know how you're choosing to challenge gender stereotypes and bias in your sphere of influence. My name is Lucy Lugbe. Until next time, from the entire team, let's all help forge a gender-equal world.